Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Ready?
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
Oh, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Friday Morning Beer Review. I am Chad from the Bearded Hops Podcast, and you might ask yourself, why am I showing tugboats? Well, two reasons, really. The first is actually a connection between, well, not really between tugboats and beer, but today's beer does have a tugboat connection to this beer. You can kind of see the can right there in the corner. Before I get to that, though, if you're interested in my little tugboat project, which was shown in the beginning of this video, I built that tugboat from September 2018 to June 2019. As I put this video out on Friday, what is today's date? The 7th. This Sunday, the 9th, I'm putting that thing in the water for the very first time. But anyway, you can check out all the build progress of my Micro 9 tugboat called Neptune on my own personal YouTube channel called Wisco Boater, linked below. There's a bunch of other boating videos on that channel as well, and there'll be more of it throughout the summer as we do some boating up in Door County. But anyway, back to the point of you all being here to watch a beer podcast. Today's beer is called Smells Like Bean Spirit. This beer is from Mikerphone Brewing in Chicago, Illinois. And the tugboat connection is, I'll get to that. Well, I'll go ahead and show it. The tugboat connection is this beer is brewed with tugboat coffee. Now, because I built a miniature tugboat, as soon as I saw this can on the shelf with a tugboat on it, I'm like, I don't care what it is, I'm getting it. And it turns out it's a hilarious can. Smells Like Bean Spirit, which obviously is a take on the Nirvana song Smells Like Teen Spirit, and the cover to that album, which was a baby in water. Naked baby in water, and look, you can see little bean penis right there. That's kind of funny. So it Smells Like Teen Spirit, brewed by Mikerphone Brewery. This is a breakfast stout ale with Vermont maple syrup and tugboat coffee roasters, Sumatra Mandling coffee. On the side of the can, you got the government warning, but on the back here, you've got the Mikerphone Brewing logo, which that's probably not going to focus all that well. Oh, there it goes. Sort of. Anyway, craft beer inspired by music. We'll get to that here in just a few minutes when I talk about Mikerphone Brewery. We've got their social information for Facebook and the actual physical address of Mikerphone Brewing, which is 121 Garlish Drive, Elk Grove Village, Illinois, northwest suburbs of Chicago. Store cold, drink fresh. This is brewed and canned in partnership with Octopi Brewing in Wenatchee, Wisconsin. And the label art is by Alyssa and Nick Segura. This is an 8% ABV beer, 12 fluid ounces, no IBUs given. Awesome can. I'm only saving cans that have something to do with boats or water or something like that now, other than maybe some special limited release barrel aged stuff. But this can is definitely going on my shelf just because it has a little tugboat in the corner there. And it looks like a bean baby with a bean penis is pissing on the tugboat. I think that's hilarious. So anyway, let's crack this thing open, see what it smells like. It does say store cold, drink fresh. It was in the refrigerator. I took it out. It's still early in the morning, but this has been out of the refrigerator for close to an hour. You know, time we get up and feed the dogs and make coffee and all that stuff. I took it out of the refrigerator right when we got up. So I can smell it from here, the maple syrup. It's about 10 inches from my nose. I can smell the maple syrup. And going in for the schniff out of the can, it is very, very sweet smelling. Very sweet. I don't get any beer, stout, ale smell at all. I don't get any coffee smell. It's nothing but maple syrup, which makes me think this is going to be like drinking pancakes or something. All right, well, let's get it poured. This is my new glass from Central Waters Brewery, which, by the way, we were just at Central Waters Brewery in Amherst, Wisconsin, doing an on-site podcast that'll be out here probably first part of next week. This glass, sorry, Central Waters, I did not mean to steal this from you. We went outside to to finish our drinks and then decided it was time to go, and I, for whatever reason, never put this down. So anyway, I'll advertise for you because Central Waters Brewery, awesome. So it's interesting how that poured. It poured a lot like a barrel-aged beer. This is not barrel-aged in any way. There is an imperial stout version of this, which might be barrel-aged. I haven't looked into it, but this one is just a breakfast stout. But that had a very barrel-aged-ish pour to it. There's no head left, kind of that Coca-Cola fizz. Yeah, now it's completely gone, but it's a black, just midnight black beer. So let's go for the sniff out of the glass. Okay, so once it's poured, the maple smell is still there. It's much more subdued. I do get a stouty ale smell. Some coffee is there, chocolate, probably even some vanilla. But it's the number one smell is still a pancakey maple syrup kind of smell to it. So, prost everybody. It's actually not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. That's actually really good. It's got a very, very strong maple finish to it, though. That sweetness comes out after it's washed over your palate and you breathe back out. Yeah, you can really get that maple flavor. But going in, it's chocolatey. It's got a very, very subtle coffee flavor, which is really good. I mean, as far as like mixing breakfast items, maple syrup, it's pancakey, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of coffee. This whole mixture really comes together very, very nice. Very, very nicely. I like it. I really like it a lot. No, that's really, really good. Really good. I will say off the bat, I love it. I'm curious where Tugboat Coffee is. Tugboat Coffee is, looks like they've been around since 2013. They're in Addison, Illinois, which I believe is the Chicago area. It's got to be. Established 2013. And since this isn't a coffee show, I'm not going to go into detail on Tugboat Coffee. I was just curious where they're at. So, this is brewed in partnership with Tugboat Coffee and Octopi Brewing in Wenatchee, Wisconsin. Maybe I have to find a beer from those guys, do a review on something from them later. But as they're just the brewer for this particular beer, Mikerphone actually came up with it. So Mikerphone Brewing is, like I said, Elk Grove Village, Illinois. It's an interesting story, as a lot of these micro and nano breweries are. The head brewer is Mike Palin, I think it's Palin, who has two passions in life, music and beer, and he has quite the history. When Mike was young, his dad worked for Miller Brewing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so he was exposed to the brewing process basically his whole life, and got into college. They brewed an English brown for a botany class, got an A on that project, and since getting an A on that project and brewing beer, really kind of became hooked to it. So he went through the music industry and kind of on the side when he wasn't working in music. He was working on beer recipes and ended up getting to know some people. So he worked with the owner of Pipeworks Brewing Company, 18th Street Brewing. They started a Kickstarter campaign to get Mikerphone up and going. Mike became the head brewer at Break Room Brewery. I mean, the list goes on. He's been in the industry for quite some time and has done some great beers. He collaborates a lot with other breweries to come up with these ways to brew these beers. On the website, I think most of their information is actually on Facebook. They've got a very simple website that gives just a little bit of information about each beer that they have. There's no information on it other than what I've already read. Breakfast stout with maple syrup and tugboat coffee, 8% ABV. Oh, it does say in parentheses 12-ounce cans, not 16-ounce. So, very, very interesting brewery. I've seen when I'm in the Chicago area with Jake and Adam, I've seen people wear Mikerphone hats and shirts and stuff like that. So I think they're fairly popular. This is the first one that I've had from them. I love it. On Untapped, it has a very, very good rating, an excellent rating, actually. As a matter of fact, it's 4.1 with 4,600 total check-ins, 4,100 of those being unique, added to Untapped August 13th of 2015. So this beer's been around for 4 years, and I just came across it. So it's a very, very well-liked beer. I like this beer a lot, and it will rate high, I promise. This is literally like drinking breakfast in a snifter glass in the morning, so excellent. Prost, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next week. Until then, drink beer. Go check out my boating channel, Wisco Boater on YouTube. Shameless plug. And I drink beer.
Little water splash out of the tires. Yeah.